Record. Hello students, and welcome back to the video lecture on Advanced Database Management System, Crash Recovery and Backup. In my last session, we discussed about the discretionary access control, and we ended up in understanding that what are the loopholes in the discretionary access control mechanism. We understood that how the student named Tom could compromise the original grades by getting access to the original table which was created by instructor John. Now, in this particular video session, we are going to see how can be this loophole addressed with the help of second access control technique, and that is mandatory access control. So let's start. So first of all, let us try to understand what is MAC or mandatory access control. Basically, mandatory access control is used in multi-level security systems where there is hierarchy of security, or there is a hierarchy of security levels. In that particular environment, this mandatory access control is used. Access permissions are decided by the operating system and not by the subject. Now here we are going to talk on two key terms, subject and object. Now very soon we will understand what exactly is meant by subject and what is the meaning of object. Subject is the owner of an object. Each subject as well as object is identified with a security level. What is security level? Soon we will discuss. In this method, mandatory access control technique, a user either has or does not have a certain privilege. It either has certain privilege, like the different type of privileges we discussed in my last video lecture, may it be account level privilege or relation level privilege. In many applications, an additional security policy is needed that classifies data and users based on the security class. Now, what is security class? That is what we are going to discuss in this slide. Classifying the data and user based on security class is nothing but mandatory access control mechanism. So it is important to note that most of the commercial database management systems currently provide mechanisms only for discretionary access control. There are very few, those who are actually seeking for multi-level security, they usually opt for MAC or mandatory access control. However, the need for multi-level security exists in certain organizations such as government, military, and intelligence applications, as well as in many industrial and corporate applications. So essentially, this point is making you understand that what is the application area of MAC or mandatory access control. So essentially, it is used in government, military, and intelligence applications, along with some industrial and corporate applications. Typically, there are four different types of security classes which are used in mandatory access control. Top secret, which has a short form of representing with TS, secret, that is S, confidential, that is C, and unclassified, that is U. Obviously, if you see the sequence of the security classes, TS, that is top secret, is the highest level of security, and U, that is unclassified, is the lowest level of security. And the relation between these security classes is depicted through this second bullet. You can see here. The system uses four security classification levels where top secret is having higher priority than secret. Secret is having higher priority than C, that is confidential, and C is having higher priority than unclassified. And that is why TS is at the top list, at the highest level, at the top level, and U, that is unclassified, is at the lowest level as far as the security levels are concerned. The commonly used model for multi-level security, which is known as Bell-LaPadula model. Now you have to explore yourself more with respect to this particular model. The significant information is available on Wikipedia. So just try to find out more information on this model. But by taking into account this particular model, these security classes are devised. It classifies each subject. Now here we will actually understand what you mean by subject and what you mean by object. Subject means a user or an account or a program. An object means a table or a relation, tuple or a record, column or an attribute, view, that is nothing but your virtual relation, and an operation. So please take significant amount of time to understand what exactly is the meaning of subject and object. Okay, so essentially here in this particular video lecture, we will take into consideration subject as a user and object as a table, just to make it simple for you. Now, after these classifications, as per the subject and object, it is taken into consideration one of the security classification as per the requirement of that particular organization. The classification of subject S is referred as class of S, and classification of object is referred as class of O. Now, these are the, I can say, the nomenclature or the representations of how a class of a subject can be represented and class of an object can be represented. Now, mandatory access control is based on system-wide policies that cannot be changed by individual user. It means whatever policies which are set with respect to this access control mechanism, those are set by considering the system-wide scope, and it cannot be set or changed by individual user. Like in case of discretionary control, you have already seen that how the privilege can be granted and revoked, okay, with respect to the user. In this approach, each database object is assigned a security class. Each user is assigned a clearance for a security class. Now, there is one more term here, which is mentioned as clearance. Clearance is nothing but what level of access that user is having with respect to that particular object. Now, user is here subject, okay? So that is called as clearance. Rules are imposed on reading and writing of database objects by users. And the DBMS determines whether a given user can read or write a given object based on certain rules. Those involve the security level of that object and the clearance of the user. Okay, so there are two major factors we are taking into consideration while understanding mandatory access control, and that is nothing but a security level, and second is clearance. These rules seek to ensure that sensitive data can never be passed on to a user without necessary clearance. Okay, why this clearance concept is invented in this particular access control mechanism? Of course, to see to that no sensitive data can be accessed or can be passed on to a user who is not having the rights to see or access that particular data. Now, we will understand this concept with the help of some more explanation. Clearance is the security level to which an individual user or client can access the information. This clearance is associated with need to know requirement. Means actually what rights or what exactly that user is destined to know or what that particular user is required to know. Based on that, the clearance will be associated with the user. The Payne-Lapadula model imposes two properties or two restrictions on all reads and writes of database objects. Now, what are these two restrictions? First one is called as simple security property, and the second one is called as star property. Now, we will understand about these two properties with one more slide. Just to begin with, simple security property states that a subject can read an object only if the security level of that subject is higher or equal to the security level of the object. And it is also called as read down. We will try to understand the meaning of this statement with an example. Star property states that a subject can write on an object only if the security level of the object is higher or equal to the security level of the subject. Now, why these levels or rather why this kind of comparison is made with respect to the security levels of subject and object, we will understand soon. But the simple security property is also called as read down, and the star property is also called as write up. It is usually assumed that the security levels on subjects and objects, once assigned, cannot be changed except the database administrator. And this is the reason that mandatory access control is mandatory. Okay, why? Because it cannot be changed, as it is mentioned in the second last bullet, that it cannot be changed except the database administrator. Means any normal user will not be able to change these restrictions. Now let us try to understand with simple example. Simple security problem example. Again, one more name to this is no read up. Now what do you mean by this? Let us see. A user with top security clearance. Now, up till now, we have understood that there are 4 security levels: top secret, secret, confidential, and unclassified. If a user, which is actually called as a subject in MAC, is having top security clearance, then that user can read a table. Now, table is nothing but an object here with C clearance. But a user with C clearance is not allowed to read a table with top secret classification. Very simple to understand. If a user is having top secret as the security level or as a clearance, then that user can read an object or a table having the clearance or the security level which is less as far as the priority or as far as the relationship which we have seen before some time is concerned. Okay, so top secret user can read a table with confidential, or you can say secret, or maybe the unclassified level of clearance assigned to an object. But a user with C clearance, that is confidential clearance, is not allowed to read a table having top secret classification, which is higher than the confidential. Okay, and that is why it is called as no read up. It cannot read the object which is having more, rather higher security level as compared to the security level assigned to that user. A subject can read a data object if its access class dominates the access class of the data object. Now it is again put in the some other way. But what is the takeaway? A user with clearance level or security level will only be able to read an object if that object is having the security level which is at the lower priority, right? But vice versa is not possible. Now let us try to understand the second property, which is called no write down. For example, if a user is having S as the clearance or the security level, that is nothing but secret, then the user can write only objects with S or top secret, that is TS classification. So it is no write down. Now what is the meaning of this? A user with certain clearance or certain security level will be only able to write to the objects with the security level which is equal to or higher than it. A subject can write into object or data object if its access class is dominated by the access class of the data object. That is what I said. Now, in case of multi-level security notions into the relational database model, it is common to consider attribute values and tuples as data objects. Now, after seeing that which user will be able to read or write into which data object as far as the security level is concerned, we are going to visit the Tom and John example again here, so that you will understand that the loophole in DAG, how it is addressed in mandatory access control. Each attribute, or we can say here, a column is associated with a classification C. Now, as I said, we are going to revisit the same example which I have discussed in my last video session. The fact that student Tom could modify John's code is outside the scope of database management systems access control mechanism. But MAC mechanisms are aimed at addressing such loopholes in discretionary access control. But how? Let's see. Now, let us consider how mandatory access control might have foiled Tom, that is the student. The grades table could be classified as S. Now here the grade table is what? An object. If the grade table is classified as S, it is given the clearance as S, that is nothing but secret, and John is nothing but the subject, a user, could be given the clearance for S, and Tom could be given a lower clearance as C. Okay. Now if you see the grade table, that is our object, which is given a clearance of S. John is the instructor, our subject. It is given, he is given the clearance for S, that is again secret, which is equal to the object's clearance. And Tom is one more subject or a user, and he is specifically given the lower clearance, that is C. That is nothing but confidential. Now, Tom can create objects of only C or lower classification. So the table fake grade. Now, with this particular table was created by whom? Tom. Since Tom is having the clearance, that is C, and which is lower as compared to the clearance which is assigned to John as well as the grades table, right? What will happen? So the table fake grades can have at most the classification C. And as a result, when the application program running on behalf of John tries to copy the grades into fake grades table, it will not be allowed. Why? Because the class of S is greater than class of O. Now here S stands for subject, O stands for object. So here if you see, the class of S, that is subject, is greater than the class of O, that is object. So what will be here? The end result? S is nothing but the application program and O is nothing but the fake grade. So what is happening here? The application program, okay, and which is created by whom? By John. And John is having the security clearance as S. And fake grade was created by Tom, and Tom is having the security clearance as C. So obviously S is having higher security level as compared to C. So what will be the takeaway from this? Whatever the malicious intention or the bad intention Tom was having to intercept the fake grade or the original grade table and copy the original grades into fake grade table will not be possible here because of mandatory access control. Okay? And that is how the MAC mechanisms can address the loopholes which we saw in discretionary access control. Okay? Now, coming to the last type of access control, that is role-based access control. RBAC or role-based access control, which was invented in 1990s as a proven technology for managing and enforcing security in large-scale enterprise-wide systems. Its basic notion is that permissions are associated with roles and users are assigned to the appropriate roles. Now, I will just take you back again to the example which I discussed in my previous video session by addressing certain educational institution where there can be three different roles: student role, a faculty member role, and an administrator role. Okay. So likewise, the roles can be created and the users will be associated with those roles as per the rights or the access permissions which we are wanting those users should have. As per that, the roles will be associated. Roles can be created using create role and destroy role commands. RBAC appears to be a viable alternative to traditional discretionary and mandatory access control. Why? Because it ensures that only authorized users are given access to certain data or resources. User creates sessions during which they may activate a subset of roles to which they belong. And many database management systems have allowed the concept of roles where privileges can be assigned to roles and not to users. Okay, so here the center key concept is nothing but role. So first of all, roles will be created and then the users will be associated with the roles as per the access rights to be given to those users. And RBAC models have several desirable features such as flexibility, better support for security management, and as well as administration. Because here administrators can create the rules and of course he can destroy the roles also if those roles are no longer needed. RBAC can be effectively used for developing secure web applications. However, MAC and DAC lack capabilities needed to support any web application. So very important point here is RBACs are specifically used for web applications. Thus, RBAC becomes a superset model that can in turn mimic the behavior of MAC and DAC. So this is the access control mechanism which is utilizing the positive points of MAC as well as DAC, and hence it is called as superset model of access control mechanism. Easier deployment over the internet has been another reason for the success of RBAC. So students, up to this we have discussed since my last video session 3 different access control mechanisms: discretionary access control, mandatory access control, and role-based access control. Hope you have understood the concepts which we discussed in these 2 video sessions. Stay tuned for my next video lecture. Thank you for watching.